Hello and welcome to the Listing Agent Blueprint. I'm 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐾. I'm happy to share with you this free training on how we use lead magnets to attract our ideal home seller clients. This is the exact strategy that my wife Lisa and I used to create over $1 million in GCI in a single year. 1.2 million in fact, because we kept stringing together six-figure months, $100,000 per month in GCI. And this is a great strategy, and you are proof that lead magnets work. You got a lead magnet from me. You somehow requested this training, and here you are on this page. And this goes back to one of my favorite mantras, which is, I don't chase my ideal clients chase me down. And that's the exact strategy that we want you to begin to leverage. Get your ideal clients, home sellers, to chase you down. So, how do lead magnets work? And how do you create lead magnets? And how do you leverage lead magnets? Well, that's what we're going to cover today. So let's jump in together, and we're going to go through all this in the next few minutes. So why are listings so important? Well, you can't do $1 million a year in GCI as a husband and wife team by chasing around buyers. It's just too exhausting. You physically can't do enough business when you're working with buyers, but you can when you're working with sellers. Sellers are the only leverageable and scalable side of the transaction. There was a period where Lisa and I had 20 active and pending listings at one moment. That's impossible with active buyers. You can't possibly be showing 20 different buyers properties on the same day or weekend or week. You just can't do it, but you can do it with listings. So let's dive into this, and this is why it's so mission critical that you focus on a seller-based and a seller attraction focused business. I just shared with you our mantra, and that is, we don't chase our ideal clients chase us down. And we want that to be your story as well. I talk to real estate agents, they're like, I'm thinking about cold calling, I'm thinking about door knocking, and I'm like, okay, so you're chasing them. They have zero interest in you yet, and you have to convince them and cajole them and express to them all sorts of stuff where they're not seeing your expertise, knowledge, skill, or ability. They just got a phone call from you, or you interrupted their day and knocked on their front door. And that Sebastian Maniscalco comedy bit where he talks about people knocking on the front door. Nobody wants that anymore. So get your ideal clients chasing you down. This is the step-by-step guide. It's really straightforward. Number one, you got to put together those irresistible lead magnets that your ideal clients are really wanting. Then you have to market your lead magnets, whether that be through email or social media posting or organic outreach or with paid ads. Then you have to capture that seller lead. You got to get their contact information so that you can do something with them, market to them. Then you need to deliver your lead magnet to your seller client, the prospect. Then you need to stay in touch and nurture and convert those opportunities until they become listings. A little bit about who we are and our commitment to you. We're always focused on providing real value. We just want to be a real resource to you. My wife Lisa and I created REALTY Funnels, which is our software and service program where we help real estate agents pivot their business from a home buyer reliant business to a home seller attraction based business. And it's the only path to freedom. Just to give you a little bit of background, I've been a managing broker since 2009. I've been a realtor and broker since 1999. I previously ran offices for Keller Williams Realty. I used to own 4 Keller Williams Realty offices in Greater Cleveland, Ohio, with a few investor colleagues of mine. I was a corporate executive for REALTY, running their Coldwell Banker residential real estate brokerage offices in St. Petersburg, Florida. And my wife Lisa and I created our own company called Real Estate. And we had that for 10 years before we merged it into a publicly traded real estate brokerage. Lisa, in addition to being a real estate agent, is a CPA, and she's been a certified public accountant since 1993. She's known as a real estate and tax efficiency expert. She's been quoted 3 different times in the print edition of the Wall Street Journal. And you can't just sort of buy that type of publicity. You actually have to be interviewed by the Wall Street Journal staff reporters, and she was. And she commented on tax and real estate matters, and she has been called by them numerous times because she's seen as a real voice of authority and knowledge in that space. So this, as I mentioned, the exact strategy that we used to generate $1.2 million in GCI in just a single year, using this exact strategy. We also taught this exact strategy to, dozens and hundreds of people, but one in particular was a brand new agent who was new to the business and new to his market area, having just moved to Florida from Colorado. And he used this strategy, and in his first 12 months, generated $232,000 in GCI. Then in his second full year in the business, he created $374,000 in GCI. It's $606,000 in GCI for a newbie just 24 months into the business. The fact that you're reading this lead magnet is proof that this strategy works. I've been using this exact strategy since 2003, 2004. I got into it. I realized, this is so much easier than doing other invasive, chasing, slimy, salesy type of junk. This is the only way to position yourself as a knowledgeable, credible expert in your local market area so that you get people who are pre-sold on working with you. And they chase you down. They actually pick up the phone and call you. They email you. They text you. They want to meet with you and talk about their circumstance, their situation. This is a standalone system. You don't need to quit what you're currently doing to leverage this system. You may have certain tools that you use, and if you love them, great, keep using them. If they're bringing you business, keep using them. But this is just another thing that you can add on to it so that you have yet another strategy that is really working for you. No need to quit anything else you're doing. Just add this amazing and easy to adapt system to your mix. So step 1. Create those irresistible lead magnets. And the reason you do this is because other companies are creating lead magnets and getting those clients to contact them, then they're selling those leads to you. So for example, Zillow, Realtor.com, all these other companies, they're just getting your people before you are. And I'm like, no, not doing that. Back when Realtor.com was the only game in town, I had like 24 active listings, and they're like, oops, you're too productive. You're giving us all this content for Realtor.com, but we want to charge you more. It's like, well, hold on. Why don't I charge you more? I'm the one giving you content to attract people. And I realized I have got to beat them at that game. And that's one of the things. As a broker and realtor since 1999, I do not like paying anybody else to get in front of my people ahead of me. So that's what we're focused on here. Now, our best performing seller lead magnets are how much is your home worth? Getting them to request a free home market valuation. We also have one that we use called how to sell your home quickly for top dollar without leaving a lot of money on the table. Things like that. 10 DIY home staging ideas to sell your home fast. People will request that when they're thinking about getting their home ready for the market. 7 huge mistakes first-time sellers make. Well, of course, that's a seller who owns a home and it's their first time they're thinking about selling. You're getting ahead of the curve. You're getting them and just taking them off the table, getting them to want to talk with you ahead of anyone else. 7 tips to a fast home sale. These are the types of things where people are saying, yep, that's very interesting to me. Give me that free resource. And you give it to them, And then all of a sudden you just follow up with them and ask them if they liked it, if they had any questions, how you're happy to be a resource. So build your lead magnet. What you want to do is focus on your niche, your unique value proposition in your local market area, how you stand out and stand above the rest, how you're different other than you're honest and you care about people. Well, that's just a given. You have to really have a differentiator. And it needs to be dialed into your local market area. Now, a lot of people will use ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or any of the other AI tools out there, but really, you just have to think this through. And then you can create that resource on Canva. Pexels.com is a great place to get beautiful photos that you don't need to pay copyrights on. Of course, if you have photos that you've taken yourself, you can use those. If you've had companies photograph listings for you, you may not be allowed to repurpose those images for a different marketing piece. So you want to be really cautious about those copyrights. And then you can get people to help you on Upwork or Fiverr. There's plenty of people who can help you, and $30, $50 later, you got a beautiful lead magnet built out. Now, can you do this? Yes. Will it take you weeks to do? Yes. You want to really be mindful that this can be a big project, but it's a very important project, and just be mindful of that. Now, the good news is you don't have to spend weeks figuring this all out on your own. We've already built everything for you, everything that you would need. It's all built for you inside of RealtyFunnels.com. You can go there to learn more and get started. But if you just follow through this training, you're going to learn everything that you need to know as well. Okay, so then step 2, market your lead magnets. So you want to attract your ideal home sellers. You're building a pipeline. Position yourself as their go-to local market expert agent. You want to nurture all the leads, everyone who comes in. The number one thing I hear from real estate agents is, I just need more leads. And I said, okay, what if I gave you 1,000 leads right this very minute? What would you do? They'd be like, I don't know. Okay, so you don't really need more leads. You need a system in place so that you can nurture the leads, sift and sort, figure out who is going to sell now, who is going to sell later, who needs to sell and buy right now. You need an actual system that can help you with this. Of course, email, that's going to be free. Emailing people you already know. Just takes a minute or two of your time to set that up. Social media posts, you can get a lot of traction with your social media, especially in your local market area. Your lawn signs should have some sort of call to action. Hey, scan this QR code to request a free home market valuation. Go to this website to request a free report. Get my hot list of available homes in the area, whatever that might be. There are different ways in which you can use your lawn signs and open houses to get some real traction. Facebook and Instagram ads on the Meta platform, Google ads, pay-per-click ads on the Google platform. Very powerful once you're ready to add some ad spend to your efforts. Okay, so email campaigns. Craft your perfect 9-word email to your sphere and past clients. And that is typically, and you can craft it in a number of different ways, but it is typically, if somebody's requesting that resource from you, hey, are you still thinking of selling your home? Or if they're in your market area, sphere of influence, just 9 words, just figure out what are the best 9 words. And one of those might be, are you curious to know the value of your home? Yep, I would love to know that. Social media posting, reach your sphere of influence, your friends, your family, your colleagues, to create curiosity. Curious what's happening in the local market? Click here. Curious to know what's happening with prices right now? Request my free report. Would you like to know what I think are the 10 best values in our market area right now? 10 best deals to be had? Click here. Invite them to request your resource. Use your lawn signs, as I mentioned, open houses, phenomenal ways in which you can get your ideal people just requesting information from you. And then you can follow up with them in a super low-key way where you're just wanting to make sure that they're getting the information they need and that you're happy to be a resource to help them. Okay, Facebook and Instagram platforms. Of course, you're going to need to go in there and set up your Meta Ads Manager account, upload the ad text and ad images. Housing ads have limited targeting allowed, and you need to market to a 15-mile radius. So that's a little bit of a hindrance with Meta ads. You're going to want to select lead form ads. They're the fastest and easiest. People just sort of say, yes, I want that report, and you've got their contact information because it's a lead form inside of Facebook or Instagram. Your prospect doesn't have to fill out the form. They simply agree to share their contact information with you. You then deliver the resource to your prospect, and you drive your prospect to your resource thank you page. Similarly, on Google, you're going to create a Google Ads Manager account. Again, upload the ad text and the ad media. You want to select PMAX campaigns for maximum audience signal targeting. People who are typing in, who are the top realtors near me, top real estate brokerages in my town, things like that. PMAX is going to help you with that. You can do far more targeting based on their preferences and their interests, and of course, Google knows what they've been looking for lately. Then you're going to want to drive your prospect to a landing page with a lead form on it. Then they fill out the lead form, and instantaneously, the resource is delivered to them automatically. And you, again, take them to a thank you page to ingratiate yourself with the prospect. All of this is pre-built, ready to go inside of RealtyFunnels.com. It's super affordable and super easy to use. You do not need to spend all this time working on building this out. We have it built out for you, and you can just jump in and take full advantage of it in minutes. Let's continue. Step 3, capture the seller's leads information, the seller lead information. So what will you need? You're going to need a lead magnet funnel. It's a landing page followed up with a lead capture form on it and a thank you page. How much information do you need to capture? Well, I think in this scenario, if you make that hurdle too high, they won't choose to jump over it. So you need to make the bar of entry into a conversation with you as low as possible. At minimum, you need an email address. Ideally, you'd love to get their name, and then you'd love to get a phone number. Now, if you ask for that, you should be good. I have a lot of people, they're like, Kev, I want to get their address too. It's like, test it, see how it works. But then they find out nobody's asking for it. Well, you just made the hurdle too high. They don't want to get bugged by you yet. But they are happy to have you as a resource. So there's this fine line that you're working. And the whole goal here is you are going to just gently continue to drip to them and stay in touch with them and follow up with them as a resource and just be an expert who is happy to offer additional insight and information to them. And that's going to keep your pipeline full and flowing for months and months. I mentioned earlier that real estate agents often say, I just need more leads. And I'm like, okay, well, here's 1,000. What would you do? And they're like, what I, Kevin, really need, I just need now people. It's like, okay, well, the challenge with getting now people today is that they met you or another real estate agent 7 months ago and have a relationship. What are you doing today to nurture the relationships with people you met 7 months ago? And they're like, nothing. Okay, Realty Funnels can solve that. Just visit realtyfunnels.com to get started today. If you want more business, you need to create a complete system that is nurturing everyone you meet so that when they are ready, they're calling on you. When they have a referral opportunity, they are recommending you. Let me have a little drink of water. So step 4, you need to deliver your lead magnet to the seller. And obviously that's just having a system in place that can allow you to do that. So Step 1, add the contact to your database. And in Realty Funnels, we just add an appropriate tag. And that's always, and a lot of times we use multiple tags. So one is prospect home seller, requested lead magnet, whatever that might be. You want to have a tag so that you can know who am I working with. Deliver the lead magnet, just email them a PDF right away. Alert the prospect to check their spam via text and the thank you page that you take them to afterward. Ingratiate yourself with the prospect. If you have a video on the thank you page, you're massively improving your know, like, and trust factors immediately. And they're going to feel like they know you when they finally do meet you. Oh, Kevin, it's so nice to meet you. I feel like I already know you. That's what you're going for. And when you set up the right systems in place and you stay on top of things, when they meet you, it's just like a come list me, because they already know, like, and trust you from all the content that you've created and shared with them. And that's what you're doing, is you're really beginning the nurture campaign right there on the thank you page. And then that will trigger a follow-up automation. Of course, all of this is already built, ready to go at realtyfunnels.com, and you can get started easily. So you need to test everything to make sure it works. And once you've tested it and you know it works, you can wash, rinse, and repeat this for every lead magnet. Go to your landing page, request your own lead magnet, check the workflow to make sure that it goes and takes those people to a thank you page. Make sure that the resource is delivered, email and text. Open it, check for a quality experience, make sure the contact is added to your database, verify that follow-up information is beginning to work, that the automation is triggered, that they are going to start getting a reputable, really quality, great experience in follow-up from you. Okay, step 5, stay in touch, and you just need to nurture and convert those people until they become a listing. And that could be a week, a month, a quarter, a year, 3 years. I'll tell you, we have plenty of clients. We consider them clients. They send us so many people, and yet they haven't used us yet. And sometimes they're CPAs, sometimes they're estate attorneys, sometimes they're the people who handle estate sales, clearing out and liquidating and emptying a house out. They send our name all over the place, and yet we've never actually had them as a client, but we consider them a client too. They're very important people to us. So that follow-up campaign, inside Realty Funnels, we have a 2-year follow-up automation pre-built with emails and texts that go out, sharing valuable information which keeps you top of mind. The text messages offer you as a resource. Phone calls, you need to be reminded to call these people, every quarter, every month, whatever the appropriate cadence might be for you in your local market area and how you want to do your business. You want to share local market updates, what's active, pending, and sold, monthly newsletters, your new listings, your new price reductions, any alerts that you have about recent solds, invitations to your open houses. You need to just do all this to position yourself as a local market expert, demonstrating yourself as somebody who is professional and very skillful, very knowledgeable and experienced, highlighting your success as well. And of course, all this is pre-built, ready to go inside of realtyfunnels.com. But you can do it too, but we have it ready to go. And you need to stand out. You need to highlight your unique value proposition. And it's really just whatever you think is the best way for you to demonstrate your knowledge, skill, and experience in your local market area and how it aligns with your ideal client avatar or profile. If you love boating, then you want to have, the boating lifestyle. If you love golfing, it could be golfing and golf course properties. If you love hiking, or if you love walking, or if you love yoga or exercising, or if you care about puppies and you support the local chapter of the Humane Society, whatever that might be, you want to highlight whatever it is that is your unique value proposition. Now, one of the things that I loved when I got started in the business was I actually loved architecture. And I started in high school taking architecture classes. And to this day, I still have architecture tools just lying around, little rulers and all sorts of things that I love drawing floor plans and renderings of homes. And I've been a huge fan of Frank Lloyd Wright since I was about 15 or 16. And so when I got started in my career, I positioned myself as a historic homes expert. Now in Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights, Ohio, there were many gorgeous historic homes and mansions, and I knew all the architects who had built any of those homes in that east side suburb of Cleveland. And I positioned myself as somebody who understood the value and the unique quality and the market importance of historic homes. I became a member of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. I then got certified as a historic homes expert by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And then I marketed that stuff like crazy. And when I would walk into a home, if it was a historic home, I knew who the architect was. I might have had to have done some research, or I might have already known because I had accumulated this knowledge. But I would walk in and I would say, oh, this is a Hamilton, isn't it? And they're like, wow, how do you know that? I said, I just love all the, boom, done. I already won the listing simply because I knew that. No other agent knew it. No other agent cared. And so I set myself apart in that way. Okay. Obviously, you need to be the best option. Nobody picks the second best option or the third best option in their local market area. You need to stand out as the number one best option agent that they could use because you align with their needs and what matters most to them. Overwhelmingly, local market knowledge is massively important, so you want to be sure to be focusing on setting yourself apart in that way. And then also just having a caring and generous and loving nature, which is, hey, I'm just happy to be a resource, no pressure, whenever the time is right, happy to be somebody who can answer some questions for you. Let me grab a little more water. Okay, so next steps, get to work. You've got some work ahead of you. You're needing to get this stuff all built out for you. Now, either you can do this on your own, build the lead magnets, build the landing pages, build the delivery system, and build the follow-up system. Or you can join us at RealtyFunnels.com and buy back your time. Your time is so valuable. You don't need to be doing this type of work when the highest and best use of your time is in doing things that only you can do. Now, sellers are the only leads that truly move the needle in your business, which is why we focus so much on sellers. And as you focus on sellers and pivot your business like we did, we had like 95% sellers, and only 5% of our business was buyers who weren't also sellers. So while we had plenty of our sellers were also buying, we only had 5% of our business which were people who were not listed with us. And that allowed us to travel every month. We could handle all of our business while we were on the road. It was no problem. We just made all of our appointments for when we were back in town. And then when we wanted to travel, we just were not taking listing appointments during those few days. This is so important to getting the freedom that you want because you're creating the income and the lifestyle that you truly want and deserve. We're happy to help you. And if you'd like to talk with us, we'd love to get started with you and really be a resource with you. You know, I mentioned this, what is your time worth? Wouldn't it make more sense to just grab our system? We take the tech hassles off your shoulders. You get to buy back your time and focus on doing what only you can do. I love this Eisenhower quadrant. I'm really a systems guy. I love talking about this type of stuff. Here you go. You've got the things that make you money up here, the things that don't make you money down here, things that only you can do here, things that others should be doing for you over here. And this is sort of like a dead zone. Don't need to spend much time in there, but you sometimes just can't get away from it, and that's life. But only you can go to the gym. Only you can spend time with your family. Only you can be focused in on your passions and your hobbies and giving back in the way that's important to you. And only you can be in your strength zone, which is typically knees to knees, toes to toes, nose to nose with home sellers. Now, if you're working with home buyers, always happy to work with home buyers. We don't mind it. We just never spend a dime, and we never spend a minute trying to attract home buyers. They just show up. And overwhelmingly, we just hand them off to our other agents in our group. Now, the things that can make you a ton of money but may not be in your strength zone: frustrating tech, implementing systems, creating automations, we've got you covered there. So just visit RealtyFunnels.com to get started. Look, here's the real question. Do you want to solve the problem, or do you want the problem solved? And let me just ask you that again. Do you want to solve the problem? Do you need to be the one who solves the problem? Or do you just want the problem solved? Which is it? This is mission critical to how you live your life with freedom and really you being in your strength zone and giving your best to the world. You don't have to solve all the problems yourself. You can just hire people who can solve the problems for you. And that's what we've built at Realty Funnels. I really built Realty Funnels to solve my own problems. I had all these tech solutions that didn't play nicely together. And I had a system and a vision for what I wanted to do at scale. And I was able to create a software solution for my own problems. Then I made it available to the agents in my company. Then I made it available to agents I knew, agents in my rev share and profit share downlines. And it works incredibly well, and we're happy to have you jump in with us as well. Let us do this with you. Getting started is easy. Just visit RealtyFunnels.com to begin with us. We already have everything built out for you. And onboarding is quick and easy. The system just works. The leads start flowing to you, and you get your ideal clients chasing you down. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been really helpful for you. I know you can do this. I know you have what it takes to really step it up and make this the best year in your career yet. And we would just love to be a part of that journey with you. So visit RealtyFunnels.com today to get started and to learn more. I'm Kevin Cahill. Thank you so much.